Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Air Force Global Strike Command Commercial Capabilities Showcase, Ask Me Anything. Thank you for coming today. Our intention for this AMA is to help commercial companies who are going to submit applications. The ultimate goal, of course, is to get the highest quality companies and technologies to assist the men and women of our Air Force Global Strike Command, Air Mobility Command, and the Air Force's Rapid Sustainment Office. The latter two are partnering with us on this venture, this go around, and we're super glad to have them with us. Here's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to share what this showcase is about, what the benefits are for you as a commercial company, how to apply, and to give you a chance to ask any initial questions that you may have, speaking directly to subject matter experts in the Air Force and those who are knowledgeable in each topic area. So really hope that you will take advantage of this unique opportunity to speak directly to the people who will be affected and helped by your technology. My name is Cody Ray. I'm Deputy Director of Technology Scouting and Vetting here at SBCC and also the Showcase Program Manager. I'm glad to lead this effort today. And before we get going much deeper, I want to ask the commercial companies to test your comms. If you can hit the Q&A button on your screen, and just let us know how you heard about the showcase. Was it an email from us, a website, a social, plug and play reached out to you perhaps? This will help us and also confirm we have good communications for you when you're trying to submit your questions. Again, use the Q&A button for that. Be careful today to not share proprietary information in your questions. This meeting is going to be recorded and posted publicly on YouTube if folks want to go back later and watch it. So just know it's going to be there forever. Make sure you're careful with the comments you make, the questions that you ask to protect your proprietary information. We do have a team of folks working off camera to either respond directly to your question or leave it to be answered publicly if it's suitable for the government SMEs to answer. So you can go ahead and begin entering your questions now if you like. Again, if you can first, let us know how you heard about it. That would be great. But when you ask your questions, please identify at the beginning which topic you're referring to. So if you're here with a question for the quantum topic or the additive manufacturing weapons topic, identify that first. Then ask your question, and that helps the right people just quickly identify the questions directed to them. It's probably best not to share your name, your company name. We just want to help you protect your proprietary information. And after that, I want to cover some basic facts for the showcase, and then you'll meet the Global Strike, Air Mobility Command, and Rapid Sustainment Office SMEs, and the SBCC folks who will be coordinating the work. So, to you as the companies, Global Strikes CCIT is genuinely very glad that you're here today. CCIT is the Commercial Capabilities Integration and Transition Initiative. And we at SBCC are hired by Global Strike to assist their CCIT division as it hunts for the right technologies to keep our warfighters on top. CCIT employs us to scour the technology landscape to bring the Air Force and the DoD technologies they didn't know existed. But what we really like to do is to find out precisely what our military needs and is willing to put manpower and resources and money towards and go find solutions to meet those particular needs. One of the public ways we do this is by hosting commercial capability showcases like this one. This particular showcase has got multiple topic areas, and it allows many companies to compete for the right to meet face-to-face with U.S. Air Force decision makers, present their technology in person as showcase finalists, At our previous Global Strike CCIT showcases, just so you're aware, many of the companies who were selected as finalists to come present went on contract with Global Strike following showcase and began to work with them. That's our goal. We're here to try to get technology into the hands of the warfighters to make that magic happen. So to be clear, there's usually not just one, but several finalist companies that Global Strike loves and wants to work closely with. And again, on this showcase, Air Mobility Command, Rapid Sustainment Office, also super excited to see the technologies that you're bringing to us. As you know, as a commercial company, the military can be a lucrative partner, but it can be a long, hard road to navigate. The military's primary focus has not been on being a great business partner. Its focus has been on keeping our United States safe by being strong, being quick to deter threats, but also being ready to smack our adversaries around when necessary. So SBCC exists as sort of a handmaiden, a helper. We want to assist the military and commercial companies like yours to understand each other, to work well together, to get that technology transitioned into our Air Force as fast as possible. And one thing that I always like to remind businesses is that since the government has hired us, all of the help that we can provide you throughout the process is 100% free to you. So just make sure that you understand that benefit. So, how do commercial companies benefit from even participating, even submitting to the showcase? Well, there are benefits for every company that even submits. First, your submission is going to be evaluated by Global Strike, AMC, and RSO subject matter experts. These are the people who know the nit-gritty details of the problem and can see how your technology can fit or how it can be tweaked to fit. You're also going to receive valuable feedback from these evaluators, and they're going to help you see where your submission and technology is strong and where it can be improved. Your evaluators may identify additional areas and ways that your tech solution could be beneficial to the Air Force or the Department of War, and they may suggest other connections for you. Also, you may receive from SBCC our own warm connections with other commands such as AMC, ATC, Warner Robins, IMSC, RSO, others who are working related problem sets that we're aware of from our previous work. In other words, just by submitting and getting your information out there, we may have connections for you, which can be a great win. Obviously, there are additional benefits for those companies who are selected as finalists. So finalists will be invited to join us in person to demonstrate your technology to key Air Force decision makers who control over $3 million of initial funds to help get the ball rolling and to help contracts get started. Finalists will present their technology face to face with subject matter experts, financial decision makers, and receive in-person feedback from those SMEs. You're also going to have the opportunity to build genuine relationships with those key government decision makers. Global Strike, AMC, RSO going to be in attendance. Other Air Force key personnel from other MAGCOMs, depots, and organizations who may attend. Again, the chance to shake their hands, look them in the eye, get to know them, and find out how you can work together. Further, finalists are going to have a chance to meet the government SMEs, to chat over hors d'oeuvres, to drink, to have some drinks with them, with SBC, CC, with other companies at a 2-hour Collider event. That's going to be on Wednesday evening, May the 13th. That's the close of day one of the showcase. Again, this kind of social network opportunity is rare, it's unique, and a great opportunity to make some of those connections stronger. And I highlight that. I kind of beat it maybe a little bit too much, but I just want to make sure because, as wise people understand, one of the best features of the Collider is that opportunity to build a genuine relationship, a long-term relationship with government decision makers. Um, Further, additional research and development funding may be available to you. SIBRs and other things, if that route opens up, SBCC can assist you, again, free of charge with that process, and we're happy to help you with that. And one of the last benefits that I want to mention, finalists are going to have access to venture capital representatives that may attend in person at the event. And this year, we are extremely excited to announce that we have entered into a partnership with Premier Venture Capital and Accelerator Plug and Play. Plug and Play is known worldwide in the VC and accelerator community. We're going to give more details about that soon, but they are going to be partnering with us and with you, the commercial companies, and will be at the showcase itself. So, in a nutshell, the showcase can be your foot in the door to begin working with the Air Force and the Department of War. What's the overall showcase application process? How will the submissions be evaluated? Submissions are being accepted now till February the 7th. So they opened up about a week ago and they'll be going through February the 7th. Maybe, Joel, you could put the website in the chat. That way it's have a nice link for those who are here today. What are we looking for? We're not looking for large proposals. We want you to keep it clear and concise. So it's three simple things. It's a single quad chart. It's a short white paper and a short video, no longer than 3 minutes, is highly recommended. That video can be super helpful. So I want to encourage you to understand this is not lengthy. We want to be clear. We want to be brief. And please follow the instructional document very closely. If you have questions, we have someone that can help you. His name is Jim Long. His email is jim.long, L-O-N-G, at smallbcc.com. Perhaps you can put that in the chat as well, Joel, so folks have access to Jim if they have questions related to the showcase itself. And I pay a special attention. Since there are multiple topic areas, please be sure that you read the instructions that pertain to your particular topic area. After you complete your submission, Global Strike, AMC, and RSO will evaluate the applications using ValidEval's proven tool that's going to make sure that there's no bias, that everyone gets equal treatment. And then after the evaluations are complete, Global Strike will make final down selection decisions along with AMC and RSO, and that'll be about mid-March. Finalists are going to be invited for in-person demonstrations on Wednesday and Thursday, May 13th and 14th in Bossier City, Louisiana. Again, that follow-on collider after the first evening. And we're going to be looking for probably around 12 presentations, maybe 12 to 15. It'll depend on the government's preference. Full solutions are great, but partial solutions are also welcome, provided you include in your proposal a roadmap to a full solution. So if you've only got a partial solution, but you can show a plan to work with company A, B, and C to get a full solution, then show that whole map. And that's going to be much more appealing to them, that show them that you have thought through and you have a plan for getting to the full solution. Again, want to let you know you can go ahead and start entering your questions in the Q&A below. We're going to briefly review the topics and then we'll go straight to the Q&A portion of the AMA today. So what are the topics for this showcase? Let me introduce SBCC's topic leads. We'll have them introduce themselves and their Global Strike, AMC, and RSO SMEs, and then the topics themselves. So first, for our quantum topic, I have Matt Franchetti. Matt?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our AMA session. I'm Matt Franchetti, a technology scouting manager on Global Strike's team, and today this topic is being supported by myself, our program manager, Todd Caskey, and the most important person, our government POC, Major Ferris. So you can see the slides here, and you see that the problem we're exploring is titled Quantum Sensing Beyond PNT. Now, to explain what that means, I want to start with our operational environment. So Global Strike operates today, and we expect will operate in the future in environments that are dense, cluttered, denied. So think heavy canopies, complex terrains, underground infrastructure, subterranean features, things inside mountains, any things where adversaries can do to deliberately hide, disperse, or mask their activity of what they're doing. So in those environments, our traditional line of sight sensors, thinking EO, IR, radar, LiDAR, etc., they begin to fail us. So with that context, what we're really looking for is quantum sensing beyond PNT. We want to be able to augment or possibly to replace our existing ISR systems and explore whether quantum or quantum-enabled sensing can introduce maybe some new physics-based signals that are resilient to this canopy, terrain masking, adversaries hiding things, darkness, etc., or at least be better than our current technologies we have today. And that is why our interest is beyond PNT and timing. We want to understand how those quantum or quantum adjacent sensing modalities, so they're historically used for PNT applications, things like magnetic, gravitational, inertial, timing derived, or maybe some novel approaches your company has could be repurposed or maybe extended to detect subtle physical anomalies reveal that infrastructure underneath a mountain, supporting map reference anomaly detection, and provide some data that could be fused into existing common operating pictures so our operators and decision makers can see that information on a single pane of glass inside their center. And we know this is emerging technology and we expect questions. So please use this session. You can pressure test the problem, clarify any intent, and make sure you're aiming at the right target. So simply stated, after saying all that, if your technology can help Global Strike Command take a quantum leap and enable our operators to see, sense, or decide in places where today's sensors fail, we want to hear from you. Thank you for your time.
Outstanding. Thanks so much, Matt. Appreciate that. Our next topic, the deployable charging solutions. Kristen.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Matt's a tough one to follow. My name is Kristen Orlandoni. On behalf of CCIT, I'm a tech strategy manager for Small Business Consulting Corporation, and I'm responsible for the mission topic, deployable charging solution for electrified support equipment and vehicles. I'm working closely with my SBCC program manager counterpart, Tia Robles, and we're in direct support of our U.S. government topic owners, Mr. Mike Black, Senior Master Sergeant Mark Dravland, and Master Sergeant Jared Alday from Air Force Global Strike Command's A4WX division. In short, A4WX is the logistics and sustainment authority that ensures global strike forces can operate and be supported anywhere, anytime. Unlike garrison operations that leverage fixed electrical infrastructure, deployed missions depend on mobile power generation, primarily JP8 fueled mobile electric power and flight line generators. While these sources supply electrical power, no integrated deployable system currently exists to interface that power with electrified support equipment once fielded. This absence constrains operational flexibility and limits readiness under agile combat employment conditions. A successful solution will be energy agnostic, but no larger than a MEP 1041 generator, accept multiple input sources and voltages, provide integrated power conversion, include energy storage capability that enables energy accumulation and discharge as needed, be resilient and capable of operating outdoors across mil standard 810 temperature extremes, be air transportable via C-17 or C-130, fit preferably within one 463L pallet position, and include wheels or a skid for maneuverability. Currently, no formal requirement exists. However, this capability is critical to enable the operational use of electrified vehicles and support equipment across expeditionary missions. Please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thanks so much, Kristen. I appreciate that. Next, we have Jim Long and our advanced manufacturing weapons, and then he'll follow up with the advanced manufacturing rapid certification topic. So he's taken two of them.
Thanks, Cody. As you mentioned, this year's showcase, we've partnered with two other organizations, and these topics are both with the Rapid Sustainment Office. In addition to being the topic POC for these two, you'll see me send out other emails. Cody used me as the point of contact for questions, so I look forward to engaging with each of you. The first topic that we're going to talk about is advanced manufacturing for weapons and countermeasures. For this topic, Global Strike and RSO is looking for advanced manufacturing solutions that can keep weapons, decoys, and expendable countermeasures flowing during high-tempo wartime operations. Joining me from SBCC on this topic is Mr. Curtis Sanchez and our additive manufacturing SME, Mr. Zach Sims. From Global Strike, we have Mr. Mike Black and Senior Master in Driveline. And from the RSO, we're joined by Mr. Theo Hepscher, who is also joined by Mr. Hawkins from the Armament SPO. The interest for this topic is in technologies that can produce mission-critical hardware using metallic, polymer, or composite processes. Equally, we're interested in its scalability and resilience, as well as solutions that address quality, safety, and certification. Finally, how does your solution protect technical data, maintain config control, and move quickly from demonstration into operational use? Of course, there's a lot more detailed information on the topic as you would expect for something of this nature on the website. Or if you go to the Valid Eval application site, you can download the detailed instructions document, and it'll include details not only on this topic, but on all the rest of the topics. The next topic I'll cover is the rapid certification and the use of additively manufactured parts. The SBCC and RSO POCs are the same as the last topic. And the Global Strike POCs, while not able to join us today, are Master Sergeant Vassis and Master Sergeant Burnham. For this topic, Global Strike, again with partnership with RSO, is looking for solutions to one of the biggest blockers to scaling advanced manufacturing, which is certification. This topic is about creating a printer-agnostic, material-based certification and acceptance framework. This is not a search for new printers or production hardware. Instead, is looking for decision frameworks, digital evidence approaches, and certification logic that enables faster, repeatable approval of advanced and additive manufacturing parts at scale. Key areas of interest do include material-centric acceptance models, digital evidence packages that combine build data, inspection results, and material performance, as well as risk-informed pathways that match approval rigor to part criticality. Other areas of interest include data consistency, transferability, and of course, governance alignment with how this framework integrates with existing approval chains, supports airworthiness requirements, and enables the reuse of qualification data across programs and sites. And just as I mentioned previously, there is more detailed information on the topic at the website or in the document that you can find on the Valid Eval application site. That's it for my two topics. Thanks, Cody.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate that. Before I mention our last topic here, again, just remind folks you can go ahead and start putting in your questions in the Q&A section there. And now for our last topic, Matt Thrun will talk about the heavy aircraft defense.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Matt Thrun, one of your tech strategy managers with our topic number 5. This is a very interesting one because this is supporting both Air Force Global Strike Command and Air Mobility Command. Today's discussion, we're kind of going to focus on large aircraft defensive systems, specifically in contested environments. Today with me is Major John Held and Major Austin Word from AMC and Air Force Global Strike Command, who are the topic POCs and SMEs for this event. As I mentioned, this is co-sponsored between Global Strike and AMC, so we're going to have the ability to cut in between these both of these communities. The operational reality we're dealing with is pretty straightforward. These large mobility and attack aircraft are being asked to operate in a closer, contested, degraded environment than they were originally designed for. I guess assumptions about sanctuary airspace are changing, and that creates real survivability issues and challenges for the aircraft that are absolutely critical to this mission success. So at a high level, what we're looking for is ways to improve the survivability of large aircraft in these environments. That can include better sensing, better warning, more effective countermeasures, better decision support for air crews, but all within the practical constraints of the large and often legacy aircraft. What we're not looking for is solutions that require major aircraft redesign or long integration timelines. A key part of this effort is to understand whether existing or legacy equipment on these aircraft can be optimized, repurposed, or better integrated to be able to increase their survivability in a cost-effective and timely way. We really care about solutions that are adaptable across the fleets, mindful of size, weight, power, integration constraints, and absolutely realistic to transitioning in our operational use. As most of the other folks mentioned, a lot of details are also in the Valid Eval portion, a lot more requirements. So please take a peek at those if you have any questions. Look forward to today's topics.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Matt. I appreciate that. All right, so now we'll move to the question and answer portion. Again, we are happy to answer questions related to the showcase itself. The real value of this AMA is to allow you, the commercial companies, an opportunity to speak directly to the government SMEs that will be knowledgeable about these topic areas and can help you understand what it is that is being asked. The first question I see here, are there any of the submission materials from previous showcases available as a reference for the level of detail that the panelists are looking for? The answer to that is no. We don't present prior submission materials, but we have tried to be as clear and maybe hopefully not too exhausting, but hopefully exhaustive in our instructions. So we want to be clear in those, make sure you know what it is that we're being asked for. And hopefully everything is clear. But I do appreciate the question. If you have questions about it, then feel free to hit Jim Long up, and he can make sure to point you in the right direction. I see another question here. generator question. So I'm assuming this one, again, if I can remind everyone to put in the topic title first to make sure that we have the right people seeing this quickly. But the question is, why is the size requirement for deployable charging a MEP 1041 generator 55 by 32 by 36 and not the size of a pallet 88 by 108? So I'll defer to any government SME that would like to speak to that, or if they don't want to speak to that, that's also fine.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So this is Mike, by the way. That one was working off of rolling stock as kind of our notional baseline, but I think there's certainly a discussion regarding that versus pallet position, depending on the exact solution.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you for answering that, sir. I appreciate that. Looks like that question was in there a couple times. Yeah. Okay, so we're open. The question and answer section is open, waiting for any questions that you may have. I'll stand by for a minute.
Well, Cody, while we're waiting, I'm going to go back to the first question about the examples, and you're spot on. While we don't have examples, when you go to the Valid Eval application site, you'll see templates for both the white paper, and it'll show you simply the document areas that will have you put text in. In addition, you'll see the template for the one-page quad chart. Additionally, you actually have the rubric. So when you're trying to figure out what level of detail, the rubric will be a great tool for you to utilize to make sure that you're hitting the things that are important to the government evaluators.
Yeah, that's super. Thanks for clarifying that and adding those comments, Jim. That's really helpful for folks who've never been through this process and haven't seen all of the application uh, steps that we have. Okay, questions again are still open. Great chance for you to ask anything you would like directly to the government problem owners. For topic 2, I see a question. What are some examples of electrified support equipment that Global Strike is considering? Is there a consolidated list? And again, this is for the deployable charging solution. What are some examples of electrified support equipment Global Strike's considering, and is there a consolidated list?
So the short answer is we don't have any. The long answer is this is a chicken and egg sort of thing where we're trying to develop this particular aspect of kind of the holistic deployable charging solution in parallel with electrified support equipment. So the Air Force writ large has been and continues to be working towards a variety of electrified and or hybrid support equipment for aircraft. So aircraft generators that are a big battery bank versus internal combustion, weapons loaders that run off of batteries or hybrid versus internal combustion, etc. But nothing is currently fielded. So certainly, if folks would like some more specifics on that, kind of what we're thinking, I think we can facilitate that sort of discussion if it helps with getting the proposal answered.
Mike, would it help to scope it as thinking equipment with level 1, level 2, and potential DC fast charging interfaces compatibility?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the scope of what we're looking for, just in terms of high level. Think typical equipment you would see, hook on in an airport with commercial aircraft, with the addition of we load weapons, and airlines don't exactly do that.
All right, fantastic. And this is probably a good opportunity for me to say that for you companies, when you ask a question, if it gets answered and you have a follow-on or something you're still unclear about, or it provokes another question, don't hesitate. Just hop on in the Q&A and ask that follow-up question. That's why we're here today. A couple of the questions that are showing up right now. This is in general for everyone. For those selected, what is the expected initial period of performance, and how will that be established between the government and the selected awardee? And the answer to that question is The government will choose who the finalists are, and then they're going to choose who are the folks they want to do continuous work with after the showcase. And they are the driver, so they're the ones coming with the need. They will work with the company to share what it is that they're trying to accomplish, what kind of periods of performance they're interested in, and we'll work back and forth with you on that. So again, totally in the hands of the government. And that's just the short answer there. Follow-on question, can you disclose how many winners are selected from the showcase or what that number has been historically? And again, the government always drives it, but I will say historically, there are multiple companies chosen to do follow-on work. And it's not just one. Someday could be though, like it may be. Again, it's the government's decision. But typically, there's a lot of good tech that comes to the showcase and present, and the government is interested in working with multiple of those companies. Maybe sometimes even asking them to work together because they'd like to see what they could even do together. So there is no cookie cutter, one size fits all. Just to say, usually it's multiple companies that are chosen to do follow-on work. All right, again for topic 2, the deployable charging, says to Michael's point, if the topic owners are interested, would love a deeper discussion on requirements. Otherwise, can keep firing in here. So I just want to make sure I read that out loud. But I would say for now, I would ask your questions here. And I don't feel bad about it. Again, to all of the companies here, the purpose of this is to give you a voice and to give you the ear of the government SME. So don't feel bad about asking questions. Open up still in the Q&A. Waiting to see if there's any other questions that anyone has. Topic 2, deployable charging. Do you have any voltage, amps, wattage requirements in mind?
You want this, Mike, or you want me to go?
You can take it while I'm thinking.
Okay. Generally speaking, the battery bank taking charge would need to be able to handle 60 hertz 240 from a generator or from ground power, and then store it and then output some of those standards. We don't have specific requirements, but like level 1, level 2 DC fast charging to just charge electrical equipment. But taking that input power, there is a conversation to be had on the current aerospace ground equipment generators that mostly operate at 400 hertz. So we think there could be value added that if it can take 400 hertz input power, whether that's 110 or 230 3-phase, but we don't have the technical knowledge to know what the trade space is there to have a battery bank that can manage incoming charge from both 60 hertz 240 normal ground power and then also be able to take input power from a 400 hertz age generator, right?
Yeah, and I think I can jump in to maybe provide some additional clarifying that might help, or that will help frame that. So just to be clear, what we're talking about with this is not the prime power that's going to be coming from somewhere else. Like Mark said, probably not shore power because we're deployed, but a multitude of possible deployed generation solutions. The output on this is effectively going to just think of it as level 1, level 2 charging for an EV. So that's kind of the with the caveat that we haven't quite fielded this stuff yet, but that is the direction that we're going in terms of what the electrified support equipment, what it's going to need to receive. So what we're really asking for is something that can take a fairly high degree of power input in terms of 50 kilowatt generator, for instance, and manage slash modulate slash whatever word you want to use that power into potentially multiple level 1, level 2 type EV chargers, if that makes sense. And if
Fantastic.
not,
Good.
fire follow-up question.
Very good. Thank you for your generosity with your time. I sure appreciate it. I'm going to say a few things that are in closing, but I'm not closing this out. I'm trying to give the companies a little more time to ask questions. So I'm going to keep talking for a minute or two with wrap-up comments, but I am definitely want to keep this thing open the full 25 minutes we have left if there are more questions. So just say a few more comments, and that is, again, we welcome additional questions after the AMA about the showcase, about the application process, etc. And again, that would be to jim.long, L-O-N-G, at smallbcc.com. And we do encourage everyone to apply. The deadline is, as a reminder, is February the 7th. A short-term goal is for your company to impress Global Strike, AMC, and RSO, and be selected afterwards for follow-on work and begin working with them, assist them with their problems. A longer-term goal, even applying is winning because you're all going to get helpful, honest, direct feedback from knowledgeable individuals that are or were in the U.S. military on what you're doing and how well you're doing it and how your solution can be made even better and be more appetizing to the Department of War. You can begin to build relationships with key decision makers in the military, and these relationships alone can take you and your business much, much farther than being a follow-on select at even this showcase. Those relationships, it's hard to quantify how important those things are. So you're also going to get to meet venture capitalists. You'll get to know SBCC folks who can help you free of charge to get your tech in front of the Air Force. You're going to get exposure to Plug and Play, a world-class venture capitalist group and accelerator, and build a relationship with them. You can come alongside and assist the United States Air Force, and you literally contribute to the safety and security of your family and all the families of these great United States of America. And last but not least, we genuinely hope that this will be very, very profitable for your company. We're super grateful for you doing all the hard work to start up a technology and get it in front of the military. So just be aware of those things. We do have another question here. Topic 2, deployable charging. Would you also like to charge smaller support equipment like radios, tablets, ground robots, etc.?
I think for radios and tablets, potentially, but that I think would be secondary because obviously we've got some deployable solutions for that, lidol's, current electrical distribution, etc. So I think that would, if anything, be secondary because the other thing I'll say on that is that a lot of the electrified support equipment that we're pursuing is intended to have those on it as well. So all that's to say, not really a prime focus of this, but certainly if you want to throw a couple 120-volt convenience receptacles on it, I don't think anybody would say no.
Copy. And just to make sure that the team heard the full question, they also mentioned, larger items like ground robots, etc. So just want to make sure that, your team heard that question as well. All right, last chance for questions. Really appreciate the questions that have come in today. So the AMA is going to be available via YouTube, and the link is going to be placed on the showcase website if you want to review it. Please get your applications in as soon as possible. Again, we have a hard cutoff February the 7th, 5 p.m. Eastern. And not seeing any more questions, just want to say thank you. Thanks for attending. We really look forward to receiving your applications, seeing the amazing things that you and your company have been working hard to develop, and getting them into the hands of our warfighters. Thank you very much for coming today.